Hi, my name is Brian Zinchuk. I'm the editor of Pipeline News. I have been doing that for about 12 years now. I've been to pretty much every type of oil lease, right of way facility throughout Saskatchewan, and I've spent basically 9 to 5 trying to cover the oil patch as much as I can. I've been writing an opinion column for about 28 years. That's 16 years beyond Pipeline News. And I'm trying something new. I'm doing video columns now. So I'm going to take some of my recent columns and I'm going to put them in a video format, post them to my YouTube channel, which you can find on youtube.com/Brian Zinchuk. That's BrianZinchuk. And I'll be posting these as well to our various websites and social media. Now, this column was written on March 30th, and that was just before the big Keystone XL announcement, and just a few days before Donald Trump said he had spoken to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and Russia, and supposedly got them to change their level of output. We'll see if that happens. But take into consideration, these prices are happening for us right now. All right, here we go. A barrel of Western Canadian Select wouldn't buy a Big Mac meal on Friday, March 27th. The evening of Friday, March 27th, I was hungry. Damned hungry. But I'm not going to many restaurants these days for obvious reasons. So I looked up on my phone's app to see how much it would cost me to buy a Big Mac. The answer was $5.89 Canadian plus tax. A meal with regular fries and a Coke was $9.39. Now, if I had sold a barrel of Western Canadian Select or WCS crude oil, that's the benchmark set at the hub at Hardisty, Alberta, I would be able to buy a Big Mac and pay the tax. But I could not order the fries and Coke. And that's not even supersized either. BNN Bloomberg reported WCS oil closed at an abysmal US $5.06 on that day, down 21.6% from the horrific day before. Now, I believe I'm referring here to actually March 30th now. If you took the dollar conversion on that same day, you could take your US $5.06, and that would give you $7.10 Canadian. Like I said, enough for a Big Mac, but not for the fries and Coke. I might be better off buying a McDouble meal, which comes in at $5 for the meal Canadian. But then, maybe I could buy 2 apple pies too, because I'm kind of hungry. No, sir. After tax, a McDouble meal with 2 apple pies comes in at $7.54 Canadian, which is 44 cents more than the value of a barrel of Western Canadian Select. So now, what could I make from a singular barrel of Western Canadian Select? Since heavy crudes account for roughly 2/3 of Canadian oil production, and the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers uses these numbers as an average barrel of Canadian oil, these numbers shouldn't be too far off. And note that a barrel of oil is 158.987 liters. So our 1 barrel of WCS crude oil gives me 56.6 liters of gasoline, 41.2 liters of diesel, 22.3 liters of all other petroleum products, including petroleum feedstocks, 11.4 liters of light fuel oil, 10.8 liters of heavy fuel oil, 6.2 liters of aviation fuel, 6.2 liters of asphalt, and finally, 4.1 liters of propane/butane. Wow, that's pretty damn good for a barrel that won't pay for a Big Mac meal. And when I wrote this, I didn't even figure I should calculate what the carbon tax would be on that at $20 a ton, never mind $30 a ton. But getting back to it, I understand it costs somewhere around US $7 to $9 to ship a barrel of oil by pipeline from Hardisty to its refinery destinations. It could be a little bit different, but not much more. In other words, it now costs significantly more to ship the oil than it is to buy the oil itself. I spoke to a car dealer on the same day, and I pointed out to him that this is the equivalent of me walking into his dealership, paying the freight on a new half ton, and then paying him less than the freight for the very same pickup. Then I drive away with a brand new pickup. Thinking about it later, I thought, why would I limit myself to a half ton? If I'm going to get such a deal, why not get a loaded up 1 ton of a 4-inch lift and mudder tires? After all, I'm paying for just the equivalent of the freight, right? That is, my friends, what we have been reduced to here in Western Canada. Our until now most valuable product we produce in Western Canada is now worthless. And we export nearly every drop we don't use ourselves to the United States, who, as far as I know, hasn't exactly stopped buying it yet either. No. Yet being key here. I would love to know what the crack spreads are going to be on that. Now, crack spreads are the profitability that a refiner makes. Even though consumption is dropping through the floor right now, if I were a refinery, I would be buying and storing every barrel I could get my hands on. It's essentially free feedstock at this point. And as crude, it's not going to go bad. It's been in that state for millions of years. It'll keep. It might take 6 months to a year for consumption to even start looking a bit like normal. But who cares? If you, the oil trader, put away 1 million barrels at $5.06 US, and WCS eventually gets back to $35 US, how much money are you going to make on that? Do the math yourself. President Donald Trump is apparently following a similar strategy, announcing on March 13th that he would be topping up the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve for next to nothing, buying 30 million barrels of U.S. crude, American crude. Quote, "We're going to fill it right to the top, saving the American taxpayer billions and billions of dollars, helping our oil industry and furthering that wonderful goal, which we've achieved, which no one else thought possible, of energy independence," CNN reported him saying. If I were him, I'd get serious about building additional tanks and storage caverns. Well, Trump was going to buy that oil until Congress stopped him on March 26th. Silly Congress. They apparently don't know the deal of a lifetime. I guess that's what happens when you have a billionaire as a president and a Congress full of politicians. Now, this doesn't do any favors for Canada. However, we have no strategic petroleum reserve. Instead, we're going to soon start shutting in wells all over the place until things improve. On March 26th, the executive director of the International Energy Agency, Fatih Birol, forgive me for the pronunciation there, said oil demand could fall 20 million barrels a day. Now, realize before all this happened, the world was consuming about 100 million barrels per day. So the difference between US $30 oil and US $100 per barrel is about 2 million barrels per day of production. We're looking at a decrease of 10 times that amount. Oil prices are not going to recover anytime soon. It's going to be brutal. So brutal, you won't even be able to get fries with that. And that is my column for March 30th about the Western Canadian Select and buying a Big Mac. Now, today, which was April 2nd, the price of oil did come up a bit. WCS is now $8.79. Woohoo! Because Donald Trump had a conversation and tweeted that he had spoken to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and through them Russia about decreasing production by about 15 million barrels a day, maybe 10 million barrels a day. However, that still leaves us with an excess of 5 million barrels a day, and this doesn't have anything to do with America cutting their production. So this is not over, folks. We are going to see very low prices for an extended period of time, and that is going to hurt us in ways that we can't even imagine. That's not a good thing, and I hate saying it, but we need to realize what's happening. We need to understand where we are going to be with this. So that's it for my column this time around, and I hope to be doing some more here. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at YouTube/Brian Zinchuk. That's BrianZinchuk. You can follow Pipeline News at pipelinenews.ca. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/pipeline news. And Twitter is Pipeline News with a capital P and capital N and then a capital SK. So that's at Pipeline News SK. Finally, if you're into LinkedIn, I have my own LinkedIn profile, and you can send me an invite. Look for Brian Zinchuk, and if you look for the icon, I'm probably the only guy that I've seen on LinkedIn that actually is wearing a hard hat and on a drilling rig. So, speaking of drilling rigs, that is Red Dog 3 behind me there. That's one of my favorite shots ever. And if you take a look over there, you'll see I love oil and gas. Don't forget that. Thanks a lot. Brian Zinchuk, Pipeline News.